Good evening, my dear teacher and my dear friends. Today we are going to conduct a debate, and our topic is urbanization is good. So, first I am the leader of this team, and I am Nadev. Uh, so, I would like to introduce my team. Second, Pavannaya, Tinukaya, Pavasaraya, and Vidula. So, over to other team.
Good evening, everyone. Today we are going to conduct a debate about urbanization. First of all, as the leader of this team, I will introduce my team. I am Kavishka. Tarul, Yasindu, and Ruvindu are my other team members. Over to Nabil.
So, actually, when you think of our day-to-day life, we always live in village side. So when we think of that, briefly, it's not a village side or town side. It is it's the place between those two things. Then in our area, there's no good connection, and when we think of the rural places, there's no good connection, and we have experienced that in corona season we connected with Zoom education. Then at that time there's no good internet connection, but rural areas they got internet connection very very hardy. Then there are so many difficulties because of not this urbanization. Then when we think of village side, we want to get use a big area, that is the truth. But in full urbanized place we want to use only a small place. Then at that time there's a big benefit, that is we can get a decision through discussion, and we can make a leader to discuss our all the problems with that. When we think of Muslim peoples, they always live happily because uh, they live as a union. Then at that time they can get a decision through a discussion, and there may be a leader. So when we think of village life, we want to use big area. Then at that time we want to cut off trees, and when we think of agricultural side, in a rural area we connected agriculture with organic farming at past, but nowadays we always try to use this inorganic fertilizer for that. Then there's no mean if farmers grow a lot of foods and vegetables in rural areas, but if they want to sell those things, they want to come to a full urbanized place. Then that is the biggest benefit of this full urbanized place. And also the water problem in countryside, there's no good water. There's straw brown colored water. Then at that time it may cause us a lot of problems, and especially there are kidney diseases. So especially Anuradhapur and Polonnaruwa, at past there were full pure water because it was a full urbanized place. There were a lot of kings. Then at that time they built that places. So at that time we call it as a Anuradhapura, but before that we call it as Anuradhagrama. So they did good job, but nowadays there's no pure water. When we think of a full urbanized place, it's mean city side there's pure water, it's mean filtered water. If there's no good water, we can make water by discussion. When we think of electricity in village, we want to pay a big cost because there's a big path that we want to get that code. Then at that time uh, we have to waste a big amount of money. But in city side we don't want to do like that. We can collect money and we can get electricity to our home or our hometown, then there are so many benefits. Not only that, when you think of education and transportation, in emergency we can't go to a hospital even, then this is a grave situation like that, then as we can, we want to produce full urbanized place all over the world, but there are so many rural areas which fulfilled with farmers, then those areas they build their houses using wood and special natural things, and I think that's not a good thing, because to that process they want to cut off trees, but full urbanized places they don't cut off trees and they don't do anything. They use cement, iron, and a lot of artificial things, and artificial things mean not pollution, then natural things mean a pollution when you think like that. But when you think of education, there's no good education in rural areas, then they always get jobs father to son, then it's mean farming and fishing like that, there are limited jobs, but in city side there's unlimited jobs that you can get with a high salary, then there are so many benefits. At last I want to tell, urbanization is good. Over to other team.
Um, the concept of urbanization was started during the Industrial Revolution. Since Sri Lanka was British were ruling Sri Lanka at that time, we also received the concept of urbanization, and since then we have been building cities all around our country. But urbanization is not good as we think, because it harms and animals also. Um, with urbanization, the environment is being polluted. Air pollution is a big part of the big harm cause of urbanization. There are so many vehicles in the cities, which causes the air to be polluted, and it is very harmful for people. And we can see that this most busiest cities, the air is not clear, it is fully polluted, and the ozone layer is also being destroyed because of that. In COVID-19 period, we could see that the ozone layer was repaired again, because people stopped going to so many places, and it got fixed again. But uh, after the lockdown, it again it was also damaged again. So we can see that the urbanization has harmed our environment very badly, and the other cause that the urbanization is so bad is because it causes noise pollution also. Um, and in cities there are no good quality water and other supplies. In cities you have to pay for water, but in rural areas we can get water for free, and they are very fresh. But in urbanized areas, we can't be sure about our sanitary problems, and we might get sick because of that. When living in urbanized areas, the space is too cramped. We can't even move freely in such a cramped area, but in rural areas we can enjoy our life with cold and beautiful surroundings. Urbanized area is a forest of cement buildings, but when living in rural areas we can enjoy the nature and we can enjoy our culture well. The main Sri Lanka has been earning so much money because of tourism, and the main part of tourism, so many tourists like to visit rural areas. But since people are building so much cities and being urbanized in Sri Lanka, so many tourists have lost to visit Sri Lanka. Um, so building urban areas has affected in that way also, and urbanized cities harms biodiversity. When when the polluted air is released to the environment, um, we can lose our biodiversity, and it can harm so many animals. Some animals have even gone to extinct because of this. Uh, and when we think about the traffic on the road, it is not simple. We can see that always there are so many vehicles on the road, and so very much, so many energy is being wasted. Not energy, but also time is also wasted. Uh, so it is very bad for our mental health. When living in those areas, people get sick very often because of those reasons. People should be trying to live in rural areas and not urbanized areas because of the mental stress that they get when living in urban areas. Um, green is the most charming color for our eyes, but in urbanized areas we can't even see a tree growing in there, and we can only see the cement buildings all around us, and it is very harmful for our mental and physical well-being. So according to all the facts, we can see that urbanization is very bad for us. Thank you. Over to Aditi.
Good evening, everyone. Today my topic is urbanization is good. Then I think we can do many things by using this urbanization, because there are many people who have the bad ideas and good ideas which is between this urbanization. But as I think there are many benefits which we can get fulfill by using this urbanization. Just think, if we want to use the main sectors well, we must use with the urbanization, because we can convert it as we want, because there is a big opportunity to us to fulfill them well. Not only that, we can attend to a hospital very fast by using the, because of the urbanization, because it has been comforted since 18th century. So it is a great chance for the old people who are living around the whole world. But there are many people who are living in the rural areas, but I think the fresh air is always in urbanized areas, because of the people who have done the bad works to uh, rural areas. At that time, I think there is a great chance for the urban people who are living very correctly in their areas to fulfill their lives well, and they also can convert their lives well. Not only that, just think about the public transport. If we use public transport, we can earn money, and uh, we can make our money for our country. At that time, we can make a good economical side for our country. Not only that, at that time we also can stop the air pollution by using this public transport. If someone can say about the carbon dioxide and the carbon monoxide, which are bad for the air, good airs, we can use the summit of the green. At that time, we can control them as we want, as we can the main air, which is chlorofluorocarbon, which is consisted with the carbon and fluoride, and it is causes to causes for destroying ozone layer. But fortunately, the two scientists understood it well, and they stopped two stroke engines, and they started to make four stroke engines for stopping it. At that time, we can stop the destroying ozone layer, and this is a great chance of the urbanization. because this knowledge and the higher knowledge which we want is consistent with the urbanized areas, because it has the all the knowledge and the books which have this knowledge well. So this is a great chance for the all people locationally. Furthermore, migration is a great problem which is in our country, because there are many rural people who can't even convert their life as they want. At that time they are also attending with the punctual solution. At that time they also can convert their life by using the other countries democracy, because in our country we can't use the democracy for the all people who are rich and poor, but we can give the chance for these people in the foreign country. And because these all foreign countries are using with the urbanization, but we also using, but we are not in a higher level like them. So they are migrating from other country to these countries. But fortunately, if we attend with the urbanization, we can stop the migration, and we can earn lot of money for our country, and we can stop it as we want. So I think we can make a great country, and an essential part of the agendas which are consistent with the urbanization for our future. If we use this urbanization for our country, we can make a good country which have the futuristic ideas as other countries have. But I think we don't need to imitate other countries, and we can get them as donations which are given by the other countries, because there are many countries who want to give our country the knowledge which we wanted to be a great country. But unfortunately the present governors can't understand it well, and the presidents and ministers didn't give the chance for the old ministers. And we can give it's in the present time by using the knowledge from the other countries as a donation. Yes, then I think there is a great chance for the old people who are living around our country uh, to face our future by using this urbanization. Then I think the opportunity which we need is consistent with the urbanization. Over to other team.
Urbanization is a sign of humans, and it is a center of economic, politics, and social life. Uh, Urbanization is the process by which urban areas grow bigger as more and more people leave countryside to live in urban areas, towns, and cities. Before 1950s, urbanization mainly occurred in more economically developed countries. Rapid urbanization happened during this period because of industrial development in Europe and North America in 19th and 20th centuries. Since 1950s, urbanization has become slower in more economically developed countries as people go back to live in rural areas. This is called counter-urbanization. There are three types of urbanization: over-urbanization, under-urbanization, and de-urbanization. There are four stages of urbanization: acceleration stage, deceleration stage, and the last one is terminal stage. When we talk about the negative effects of this urbanization, the first one is biodiversity loss. With the urban expansion, the forests are cleared to make roads and buildings. So, wetlands, paddy fields, and other environmental sources are cleared to make these artificial things. And next one is air pollution. As people live in a closer environment, and also because of the increase in greenhouse gas emission, there is a high risk of emitting of sulfurous smoke to this environment. It is stated that in 1940, in London 1948, 48, there was a sulfurous smoke, and that
killed thousands of people. When we talk about the other one is deforestation. Deforestation is the main problem in urban areas because trees are cut and trees are cut and so it causes to break the water cycle. So then we will have to face drought seasons. When in Sri Lanka, Colombo has the highest population. That means it is more than 23 lakhs. When we talk about crime and violence, even people are living in urban areas. Some people do not have jobs. They are jobless, so they are more like to be engaged in antisocial activities. They are selling drugs and selling many more illegal things, and it is stated that this crime and violence is in the area of high level of poverty and social exclusion. So the other one is increasing smell problems and waste management problems. People are dumping waste to these rivers and to other areas. So this causes this environment to be polluted. Because of this water cycle break, the global warming will increase, and that will cause to rise of the sea level as the ice in the both poles will begin to melt. So, by considering above all facts, I state that urbanization is bad. What other?
Thank you. In 18th centuries, there was an industrial revolution. It means the people and scientists trying to make equipment and machine to do their works, day-to-day works easily. So it caused to happen the urbanization. Not only that, the urbanization is not new attitude because this ancient kings also use this urbanization. The king Pandukabe was also trying to do urbanization. Not only that, from there, every rulers and kings try to do the urbanization as they can because it's very important for every society. However, there are three things that cause to happen the urbanization, such as population growth, migration and changing rural system. However, if we think about a person, he like to spend comfortable life as they can. If we think about this situation in a society, every person want much money to spend a life as they want. However, the people migrate to find enough job opportunities to spend their life well. this urbanization is causes lot of parts in a society. As a result of this urbanization, we can experience lot of new traditional cultures and new Western cultures. If we think about urban area, there is no any gender discrimination because they work together. However, they work as they want and they help to others works. In a rural area, they people like to they people also like to spend a comfortable lifestyle, but their main earning method is cultivation. However, the cultivation is a very important side for a society because they supply the foods and important thing for the people. If we think about the urbanization, we can see a lot of advantages, such as the people who like to develop and be rich, they can he can be rich in urban area because there are a lot of chances and lot of chances to show his ideas, and we get, if we think about the infrastructure services, they are very important for a society, but there is no any infrastructure facilities in rural area. So if we think about these things, urbanization is good for society. Over to other team.
Good evening, my dear teacher and my dear friends. In the modern world, if we found about developed countries' environment is too ugly because of urbanization. Actually, it is a bad thing. If we found about underdeveloped countries' environment, their environment is too beautiful because of natural villages. Actually, this is a bad thing because our people are always try to make always try to develop their country. Because of this thing, they make urban areas. Actually, it is a bad thing because these urban areas is against to the nature. If we found about the urban area, there is huge flats and industrial places in the urban area, and also in the modern world, environment, air, soil and water pollution happen because of this urbanization. Actually, it is a bad thing. uh, uh, Urban areas peoples are always used to use lot of artificial things for their needs. That's why they always use and put these things to the environment. then this our beautiful nature is uh, destroying. uh, and also, if we found out urban areas peoples, uh, they always used to use artificial foods for they are comfortable. Actually, it is a bad thing. Because of this using artificial foods, they had to face lot of diseases. If I give example, lot of kinds of cancers are examples. And also in the urban area, uh, pe- uh, people are doing lot of antisocial activities. Actually, it is a bad thing. If I give example for this antisocial activities, drug businesses, weapon businesses, and bad gangs are examples. Actually, this is a not a good thing. And also, if we found about agriculture, uh, our people always try to make a lot of urban areas for they are comfortable. For that, in a in a urban area, modern area, they may make lot of industrial thing places. Uh, Actually, for these industrial things, they need uh, agricultural things. But this for these people always try to destroy these cultivated places and make make these industrial places in these cultivated places. Because of this thing, make they can't do their industrial works in a urban area. If I give example for that, without cotton they can't make their clothes, and without milk and cane they can't make other sweet foods and other products. And if we and without rubber they can't make uh, rubber products in industrial places. Actually, then we can understand this urbanization is against to the nature. And also, because of this urbanization, uh, world has a lot of natural disasters. uh, Actually, it is a bad thing. Because of these natural disasters in urban areas, people had faced to lot of diseases. Actually, it is a bad thing. uh, so my idea is urbanization is bad or to the other thing.
Good evening, my dear friend. Today our topic is urbanization is good. Now our country change urbanization side according to economic progress, technology, population. Uh, Urbanization is increased. We can see urbanization in developed country. Example. Uh, America, India, Ukraine, Russia, etc. Uh, Urbanization has many advantages. We can do our work very easy, and there are many facilities in urbanization. Example: national schools, government hospitals, bank, communications, etc. It is a high it is a high it is a high it is a best thing, and we can develop our country by using urbanization. And we can earn money by
by using various way, but village people can't earn money by using various way. They only cultivation. uh, they can earn money uh, by using cultivation. I think cultivation is good for our uh, urban area. And if we think about if we think about village peoples, they unfortunately they don't know about the urbanization. If they if they think of if they think urbanizations, then they can focus to urban side. I think urbanization is best thing. And if we think about national schools, also, children can learn very easy, and many teachers give knowledge for people, students. uh, uh, and I think uh, uh, it has many facilities. And if we think about government hospitals, it has many facilities, but village hospitals, it hasn't facilities. And uh, now now technology is in high place in modern world. uh, and I think uh, our country, we can develop our country by using urbanization. uh, actually uh, actually uh, many village peoples use chemical for their cultivations. Then they import those things for urban area. And but if we think about our ancient times, they use national thing for those things. uh, and I think urbanization is good for our future. And over to other team.
Good day in all of you. Today I am going to talk about urbanization is bad. This urbanization is urbanization started from our civilizations, and this urbanization is it's not good for our future. And about in this situation, we can't uh, we can't live in future. And this urbanization is foreign countries people face to this urbanization, and they don't like to this urbanization, and they try to get feeling about rural areas, and they come to our country, and they get feelings about rural areas, and they cool down from mental side. And these urban cities and these urban cities are very polluted areas, from sand pollution, water pollution, air pollution, etc. And someone can tell urban cities have good urban cities have filtered water and they can use it very well. But I think they also get those water from rural areas and they filtered it. And I think rural areas people have best people have the best water from, and they get from it under the land. And this air pollution is produced by polythene. And this we can get a good example, ozone layer damage from this damage from this uh, damage from damages. uh, then and we can see COVID-19 situation. uh, Ozone layer was prepare because uh, in current time period we minimize uh, our trips also. Then I think in that time we 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 can minimize the air pollution. And this air pollution is very minimized in rural areas. We can get an example like Australia have good percent about air pollution. Uh, they have in 2020 20% air pollution, but they can in present it means 2023 they minimize their air pollution. And they always try to make rural areas and bring something from in that areas. And in our country also people always try make hotels also in rural areas. Then migrates use these hotels in rural areas. I think this urbanization is not good for everything. And over to other things.
Good evening, everyone. Today our topic is urbanization is good. The development of public property is the main reason for this urbanization, and also people have normal and good life because of this urbanization. And also people have a lot of facilities from this urbanization. Transportation, communication, healthcare and education are the most important for people. uh, and uh, and also bank facility is really important thing for us, because without this bank facility we can't save and uh, save and get money without this bank facility. But in the village, if we find a bank, we that's a very hard work, because there are not good communication and smart technology. But if we when we find any bank in urbanized area, we can find bank without any effort, and that's the difference of this urbanization. And education is very education is very valuable thing for students and all others, because without education we can't be a knowledgeable person in the society. But without this urbanization we can't go to good education, because we won't go to school uh, in in the week, but we can't get good education in village schools, because there is no good teachers and facilities for them. But in the urbanized area, there are good teachers and a lot of facilities like smart boards and uh, computers. Those are a very valuable thing for us. Uh, as a student, I think it is very valuable thing for our future. And in the past, agriculture is agriculture is the friend of us, because we want to agriculture for get foods like vegetables and fruits. Without this agriculture we can't find like that foods. But if farmers grow vegetables and fruits, they can't sell those in the village, but in the urbanized area they can sell those without any effort. uh, and that is the main difference of this urbanization. And I think this urbanization is uh, help for Sri Lankan development. Over to Aditi.
Actually, you told in rural areas there's no good water. There's in urbanized place there's no good water. So as I know, in rural area there's no good water, because in ancient time we always used organic fertilizer, but this is not that generation. Now generation is changed. Now we use inorganic fertilizer for all the things. Not only inorganic fertilizer, but also the pesticides and the other germ killers for our crops. And at that time it also a type of environment pollution, so it will enter to water through this paddy field and other cultivation systems. Then in urbanized place there's a concept which called green concept. They connected agriculture with a proper manner, and there's in that concept they emit greenhouse gases with a good manner, and they decrease those greenhouse gases. But in rural areas there's no like that. And I want to ask you, is there a system in rural areas?
But the urban areas that you are talking about are also getting fruits and vegetables from rural areas, and they are grown in rural areas.
But they want to sell those fruits in a full urbanized place. If not, they can't get monthly salary to their hands.
People who are living in rural areas know how to feed themselves, but people in urban cities can't do that. and they can't eat money and they can't drink money. People who are
They can eat through money.
But if people who are living in rural areas did not produce food for them, then they have to starve because there is no food for them. There are no food.
That's why I understand there are so many supermarkets. Then to those supermarkets, the food came from the high quality factories in urbanized places. In Sri Lanka, there is no, as I know,
Can you
countries full urbanized places. There are greenhouse concept.
can you name one of the companies which produces those kind of fruits and vegetables?
And when you think of Japan, country Japan, there are so many factories like that.
Can you name me some factories which produce like that?
Then I don't want to like that. And also in those countries,
But I am asking you a question.
told about rubber cultivation, and there's a proper rubber cultivation in foreign countries also. Without a rural area, they cultivate those things full urbanized place. It means in a house like that, there's short rubber trees. They cultivated using gene technology. Then there's a technology like that, so we can get use that technology.
I want to ask you, in what country do they use gene technology to produce rubber?
Including Japan. There are so many countries, and also I think we produce paddy with vitamin A. It is called golden paddy. Then we use a lot of products including gene technology. So that's not example. There are so many examples. Not only that, you told before. When we connected these urbanized places, it may cause us to the damage of this ozone layer. Actually, ozone layer mean O3 gas. Actually, this is a gas. Then if we damage to a gas, it will produce again as a layer at that time. Then that also not a problem for us. If we think of a rocket, it may damage to ozone layer, but these urbanized places don't damage that places.
But actually, scientists have proved that before COVID-19 before COVID-19 period, there was a big damage in ozone layer, and during that during that period, the ozone layer was again fixed. And right now, the thing that you are talking about is, I think that is not right, and you are not giving the good information, and I think you are telling a lie about that. And I think that urbanization plays a huge role to harming the ozone layer, and I think urbanization is bad.
According to your information, it's mean COVID-19 destroy this ozone layer. Then I think you are telling lies. Actually, before I told about this full urbanized places, there are greenhouse gases, and also according to technology, there are so many technologies. I think there's a ship which called New Diamond. Then it release a lot of bad things, including fuels. Then they put some organisms to eat them, so like that we can produce O3 gas artificially. If there's a problem, then I think there's no problem of COVID-19 and this urbanized place. COVID-19 can't damage this ozone layer, and COVID-19 means a guest came from these glaciers. Little by little these gases enter to atmosphere, and through that the temperature become high level. At that time it freeze. Then that is the problem of that. But in rural area we use hearth to cook, but at that time also we enter lot of carbon dioxide to atmosphere. Not only that, we at past and also now we use a chain farming system. Then at that also we burn it full. So at that time also we emit carbon dioxide gas, and also there's a gas which produce in muddy places, which called uh, methane gas. Then it also emitted to atmosphere through these rural areas, but urbanized places there's no like that. Then that's what I want to tell you.
I did not tell about COVID-19. I did not tell that COVID-19 harmed the ozone layer, and I want to tell that by lighting a hearth, even if it releases carbon dioxide to the environment, there are enough trees to catch the carbon dioxide which the hearth is releasing, and it can't harm the environment as much in rural areas, but in urbanized areas, when the vehicles release gases such as carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide, since there are no trees and no any greens, it harms the environment because of that, and the trees can't take carbon dioxide and produce food, since because of that, the air is released to the environment directly, and that harms the air, that causes to air pollution. Over to other team.
As you told, there are many antisocial action rapes in the urbanized areas, but there are many suspects which this government need, but unfortunately they can't catch them because they always use rural areas for hiding. Just think, if the people who are living in the rural areas support to the government, they can get them suspects and the thieves which they need. At that time we can stop these antisocial action, the rapes as we need. Just think, the problem is between the rural people because they don't help to the government.
Crime and violence has increased, particularly in the area of poverty and social exclusion. With this, people are more like to engage in those antisocial activities, but not without the help of this with the people in rural areas. That because government failed to catch those thieves, because this urbanized, it is hard to find thieves in these urban areas.
As I think there are many people who are poor in these rural areas. At that time they can't even fulfill their day-to-day life by using the salary which they have, but fortunately in the urban people can fulfill their day-to-day life by using the salary they have. At that time they don't need to use with the antisocial acts and the rapes. Just think, the people who came from the rural areas are using with the urban antisocial acts and the rapes because they have no money to depend on the society. If they have the money, they don't need to do the antisocial acts as they want. If we use with the urbanization, we can stop these rapes and antisocial acts. Can you stop this antisocial acts and rapes without the urbanization? Because these people who are in rural areas haven't a great situation for facing for the future.
We don't need to live in urbanized cities to earn money, because people in rural areas also can do a job and earn money. Just think that there are noises in urban areas that people cannot hear, But in rural areas, people have freedom and they can stay calm and there are no any noises like that.
I asked you the question about the antisocial acts and the rapes, but unfortunately you didn't give me the answer. And I also can tell these people who are in rural areas have the real agricultural side, as the Kaviskanangi said. At that time, the old machines and the tractors which are using in these rural areas have a great sound. At that time, we can't even be supposed to be supply our things for the people. At that time, we are facing for the air pollution in the rural areas. Not only that, just think as you told, there are many fresh and new foods in the rural areas, but unfortunately these are not fresh because these all things are consisted with the chemicals. At that time, the people who are living in the urbanized areas can't even get good foods because of the agricultural side, because there are many presidents who try to stop it as they want, but unfortunately these people who haven't the real knowledge didn't give them the chance to stop it. As a result of that, we have many cancers and the diseases of the many without spreading, and none infections because of the people who haven't this knowledge. If they have this knowledge, we don't need to use with the medical and the medical sites, because at that time we will haven't any diseases.
Chemicals and other unsuitable elements are not in these rural areas agriculture but in urbanized areas, because in urban areas they are using artificial things. Not only that, in urban areas people are not doing exercises, so at that time people's the bones inside the body will get weakened altogether.
tourism industries tourism industry is very important for country, because it's a very essential earning way for Sri Lanka, because the tourist people like to travel in urban areas, because they want a lot of high facilities such as hotel and transportation. If we stop this urbanization, uh, we can face to this failing tourism industry. What do you think about it?
According to my idea, I think there are a lot of tourism peoples like to live, go to the natural villages and uh, look about these natural things, and they enjoy from this. Uh, I think your idea is wrong, because these tourisms come to this our country for a travel lot of lot of uh, travel to lot of natural places. uh, I think your idea is wrong, and also what do you think about?
Not I think it's not correct, because the tourists like to stay at comfortable places, because they don't like to uh, spend their holidays in rural areas. I think these hotels and developed places in urban areas, urbanization is good.
I think your idea is wrong, because this this foreign countries peoples always try to stop at a natural hotels. uh, uh, I think there are nothing in a urban area to look find about them. And also and also if we found about uh, uh, developed countries environment is too ugly because of this urbanization, because there are a lot of environment, water, and air pollution in the these urban areas. So what do you think about it? Is it good or bad?
Natural environment is very good for every places. It is not unique for urban area or rural area. Uh, if we can make a natural places as surrounding in natural, it is very good for society.
And also uh, if we found out these natural villages, there are no any natural disasters in the uh, these natural villages. But if we found about urban areas, there are a lot of natural disasters happen uh, in these urban areas. If I give a example, they had to face a lot of tsunamis in the this uh, they had faced a lot of tsunamis in the urban area. So then what do you think, is it good?
Tsunami is a natural problem. It is not depend on urbanization. And I want to ask a question. You told before you told antisocial activities are in urban areas, uh, but there are a lot of department to control these antisocial activities, such as police and army, and these antisocial activities is not common for every person, because it is a unique for person, uh, and it is not a result of the urbanization. Thank you. Over to other team.
Good evening, my dear friend. Today our urban area
Again,
Actually, I think your idea is wrong, because uh, there are a lot of anti-social activities begin in a urban area, but still police and other uh, other uh, uh, other army members can't control these antisocial activities in a urban area, because uh, but if we think about these antisocial activities, these police members and army members also helps to these antisocial activities in the urban area. So then what do you think about it?
uh, these antisocial activities, it not only in urban areas. We can see these activities in rural areas. uh, Before I told, it's a unique attitude for person, so we can't change the person attitude through the urbanization. uh, and if we want to make a beautiful and best society for a country, we need to make the people's attitude also. Thank you. Over to other team.
Urban area has many job opportunity, and we can build our country by using urbanization. Ur- People can uh, earn money by using urbanization, and I think urbanization has many advantages. And at that time, how can we tell urbanization is bad?
I think your team also think about only advantages, but we can see there is so many harmful thing to our environment about these polythenes like that things uh, uh, are very harmful to our environment, and so many because of that, um, so many harmful thing in our air, and I ask from your explanation, we can't choose a good school from rural areas, and you tell we can choose national school from in urban cities, but I think our politician start start thing. It's called near school the best school. I think you also know about that. Then I think we can choose a good school from our village also. What do you think about?
I think we can introduce new laws for that. Then we can control those pollutions, and uh, national schools. Village schools hasn't many facilities, and students can't learn. And I think urban national schools has many facilities. Then students like for that. What do you think about that?
But I think uh, politicians start so many schools to change the national schools. Then I think they can get so many facilities from it. And when we talk about Colombo, then this area is urban city, and uh, explain about urban urban this urban cities, uh, in Colombo, we can see in Colombo 7 we can see so many rowdies in that areas. Then these urban cities, I think these urban cities uh, uh, is in so many peaceful people. Then because of this, because these Saudis, we can't get those places urban cities. What do you think about?
Hmm. I think village people's uh, village peoples can earn money by using their cultivation. I think it is best thing. And actually village people use many chemicals for their cultivation and they export those fruits for urban area, and there is a big problem, but uh, uh, I think ancient peoples use natural thing for those things. What do you think about that?
I think your idea is wrong. These rural areas people use natural things to their cultivations, and I think these urban cities can't do a cultivation, and if they do a cultivation, I think uh, exactly they use chemicals to their cultivation. Over to other.
How do you point out that life in urban areas are better than life in rural areas? There are a lot of facilities in these urban areas, and there are good technology in urban areas. That is good thing for good thing for us for living urban areas. And I would like to ask a question from you. There are a lot of secret places in urban areas, but and there are they and they those are very valuable thing for uh, psycho people, because they always in any problem. But without this urbanization, can we find like that places? uh, in urban areas, uh, the, the psycho people in which are in secret places, that is easy to kill people and do murder and many other illegal activities. That means they are against to the government. So because of these secret places which are in urban areas, uh, that cause that is against to the government. But they can release their problems in that like that places. So what do you think? Not only that, water quality and food quality are low in urban these urban areas, but in rural areas there are fresh fruits and vegetables, because uh, they don't use chemical fertilizers to grow foods and to do the to their agriculture. In urban areas, uh, many noises and artificial lights are there, and because of that, people will have to face uh, many inabilities. So, what do you think about that? If you think you are in a urban area, you can't go to rural area for buy vegetables and fruits, but you can get fruits and vegetables in urban areas very easy, because you are near the urban area. And I want to tell, uh, farmers grow all farmers grow good vegetables and fruits uh, in the rural areas, and sell those uh, they sell those for urban areas shops, because they can get good advantage they can get good advantage from uh, this work. And you all told uh, foreigners come to Sri Lanka for get good experience in the rural areas, but they can come to Sri Lanka without aeroplane because they are in foreign country, and without this urbanization, can we can they come to Sri Lanka? What do you mean by that? What is the relationship between urbanization and airport? That's the question ask you. Can you give any answer over that? There is no any relationship between urbanization and these airports, and also in rural areas, transportation is very difficult in urban areas because we have to face traffic, and that means the traffic wastes people's energy and time. Over to others.
And first of all, I want to tell there's a good. Actually, there's a good relationship between places and airport because uh, the population if the population increase, we want to use planes, but if the population decrease, we don't want to use aeroplanes. That's what Vidura said. Then at that time they can use boats instead of this aeroplane, but they can't because tourists also get a good attraction for this urbanization. Think a little bit. Every tourist go to a town and get its mean city and get their joy, but they never go to a country place because there's no need. There's very boring places, but in city side there are so many things to see. Uh, as an example, Colombo, there are so many things to see. So that's what I think. That's what we will say.
I think that first of all we should understand why tourists are coming to our country. It's because our country has such a great history and we have beautiful places to visit. It's not because of the urbanization, and in other countries the tourists where tourists come from, they also have urbanized cities and they also have very taller buildings than in the buildings in Sri Lanka, and they have so many facilities than Sri Lankans do, and that's why they are coming to our country to get mental relaxation, since they are very stressed in their countries because of the urbanization. They are having a bad health, and their when their health condition is poor, and
there is no time to waste in for the visiting. They want to see historical, even come to our. They want to see historical places because of in past time there's a good urbanized place because of these our old kings. So that's what they want. However, they want urbanization because that's why they come.
Want to visit the ruined cities which are very beautiful and interesting.
And I think they come our country to visit about the improvement of the urbanization in our country.
No, how?
But if we just think about the airports which are located in our country,
and it's the only transportation system which they can come to our country. If they will come with the ship, then they will come to our country with the ship and they will visit our country around. They would like to visit our country with the ship because it is way more interesting than flying with an aircraft.
But unfortunately, they can't even visit our country by using these boats because these rural people who are living around our country with the bees are destroying the destroying our beaches. At that time,
Why?
there is
How can you
because,
tell that they are destroying our beaches?
because if they go to that places, they can understand there are many plastic bottles around them. But
The people who are
fortunately,
living in urbanized cities do that. When they go to
but fortunately, there are many.
they are destroying the beach.
The advantages we can see.
But fortunately, there are many summits and there are many factories to stop it. But fortunately, there isn't any plastic and the fast bottle for in these places. But they are using the forward system for stopping it in the urbanized areas. But
In urbanized
unfortunately,
areas, we
these
can see
places
that-
are also facing for the urbanization. Because of that, we have faced for many challenges. As a result of that, there may be some of plastic bottles.
In urbanized areas, we can see that the trash is not managed well. They are not, even if there is a system, they are not following the system. And because of that, the environment is polluted and there are so many rubbish that we can see on
Don't
the
see
road.
the
And they are
worst part of the urbanization area.
We
Just
are
think
seeing
about
the
the
worst part
rural
of
areas, the bad kind.
People don't use these plastic products like that urban cities.
Yes, they don't. But if we think when we think these rural areas are good, but there's a problem, that is the highest amount of patients which are the cancers and dengue patients are met from that areas.
But there are so many patients which are found in urban cities too.
Yes, but there's a big percentage of patients found in that area. So what is the reason for that? Yes, let me know. If you watch every day, if you watch news, you can yourself you can prove it. I don't want to prove it. I will told that there are many people and there's a small percentage who are in rural areas who don't use the chemicals as they want. But unfortunately, as I know, they always use the fertilizers which are consisted with the inorganic things
But
and the
they-
chemicals. Yes, before 1 more years, there are many farmers who struggled against the Mr. Gotabaya Rajapaksa to for stopping importing fertilizers of the inorganic items. Then we can understand from it they always uh, supposed to be made by using the things and the fertilizers which are imported by the other countries. Then they are supposed to be made the old foods and the things as you see for the urbanized area. But unfortunately, they always try to use the chemicals like fertilizers. At that time, they can't even taste the things. But you told they are always using the organic fertilizer.
When using them, they only use a small amount of them when they are growing their vegetables. Let me speak.
We could win the league before 2 more years because of this struggling
I let
team.
you to speak at first and now you should let me speak. When they are growing their own vegetables, they only use a small amount of chemicals, and when they are transporting them to urbanized cities, they want to keep them for longer. So they have to put more chemicals into it while the transporting system.
Small or high, there's a chemical. So chemical.
But when using those higher amount of chemicals for a long time can cause urbanized people to get sick.
However, little by little it entered our body.
Then you are living in an urban city and you are.
But there's a green concept. We can grow.
You
we
can't
can
eat
follow that.
green
And we can see in supermarket they bring and they keep those vegetables and fruits long time. Then they put they insert so many chemicals to that thing to they want to keep those things in long time.
As you told, we can get these foods because of the result of the rural people. But unfortunately, as we know, there are many cancers and many sugar diseases because of the chemicals which are in these rural areas, which like Kamrapura and Coronado. These places are also facing to the urbanization, but unfortunately,
When you saw it in Anuradhapura, like that places have so many cancer patients.
but there's a hospital, there's a
If
cancer
someone
hospital.
haven't any,
If someone haven't cancer hospital is fulfilled with cancer patients.
Always use artificial food. Because of this thing, they had.
What's mentioned by artificial food? It means plastic or polythene? Yes.
No, they.
It is also considered with the natural materials.
But they are healthy for your body.
Then there are many things at the medical sector for us. At that
Then
time we
you
can
are
control
using-
it by using it.
You
But
are using
unfortunately,
medicine and that harms your body too.
why? Why?
When using medicine for a long time, it can harm your kidneys.
We don't want to use medicine long time. Yes, only we have only four diseases, not like you, because you always have the big diseases because you are always no good water and also no good food.
You are the people who are using
So those are the
chemicals
problems.
for long time.
If someone haven't the real information, they can't even prove the real thing. If someone asks us to prove, there is no method to prove it. And we are proving it by using our knowledge. The spectators also can understand by using our knowledge. He asked me to prove. Because we can't prove it. We have only our knowledge.
Do you know that the people who were living in Kandy even before the COVID-19 period started also wore masks? That's because of the air pollution.
As I saw, there are many diseases which are between these rural areas because of the chemicals which like fertilizers, because they always trying to use these fertilizers which are inorganic. At that time they can't stop these diseases which like cancer.
But even if you are living in an urbanized city, then that can harm your health too.
Yes, as you told, we can get fresh foods from the rural areas, but because of the fertilizers, I don't think we can get the fresh food from the rural areas.
And I also don't think that you are living very comfortably in urbanized areas because you have to live in a cramped space without so much freedom.
There is no city which is faced to the urbanized. They are not urbanized. They are always facing the urbanization.
Actually, we found about corona period. In the corona period, corona period, the urban area people had faced to lot of food problems because without rural areas agricultural things they can't sell these agricultural things food in these urban areas. Without these food they can't do it, they can't
At that time, they are
and politicians also can't import those foods because we want to we happen to bring so many COVID vaccines from our dollars.
Yesterday is a history. Fortunately, we want to pass it, and we are suffering from the. Then we don't need to think about the history. Fortunately, we are living now, and we can get the foods which we need. At that time, there wasn't a good leader. That is the problem. I think that in the history, not the
History as a subject in school, and the reason for teaching you that subject is that you have something to get that from history.
It means you have.
But there is nothing we can get from COVID-19.
We had so many
But that's nothing that we have developed.
That in urban areas, lot of dengue patients are found.
And cancer patients.
But in rural areas also, there are so many cancer patients.
But the percentage of parents which are patients which are found in urban areas are higher than rural
As I know, there is not comfortable hospitals in the Anuradhapura and Tamil Nadu for facing but the thing there is a big possibility in Anuradhapura, but unfortunately there are many people who can think about the Colombo because it is the most urbanized area in the Sri Lanka. But these all patients are in Colombo because it's the only solution these patients have. At that time they can solve these problems which are consistent with their body, and there is a great chance which they can face in the future.
But I don't think that the hospitals in urbanized areas are also have such good sanitary facilities as the West and the
Then I told we need to attend with the urbanization. If we attend with the urbanization, we can convert those things. Just think there are many countries which just think about the Tokyo. It's always consisted with the rural areas and the urbanized areas in the urban city. And it always used with the agricultural side, and they want to supply the all foods for the people who are living in the city.
And in your speech, I can remember that you told we don't want to imitate other countries,
Yes.
and now you are telling
I told we don't need to imitate other countries. We can get them as donations.
And Tokyo
What
is
Donation. Then I get we can attend with them, and we can obtain those things which like agricultural sites in the urban area. We can do it. And that is the those are thoughts which are in your mind. As I told, we can see.
You are also giving
I in them as imitations. Actually, Colombo is not a full urbanized city. Then it is urbanizing city, and also your team member told about a job loss in Colombo. I think, according to my opinion, there's no a good there's no job loss in Colombo. What do you think about that?
There is a high population in cities such as Colombo, and some people don't have jobs in there, and they might have to move to another city because of that. And
Actually, they are the country because of the outgoing of the urbanization. Then they are attending the migration. At that time, they can get the democracy from the other countries because it always have almost have the democracy instead of the because they are essentially nepotism, and they can live with the all people who are living in a country with the same level. At that time, they always try to migrate to other countries. Then these poor people can't get jobs from the Colombo because it is always attended with the urbanization.
and this may and this in Colombo, if we have so many jobs, then why people go abroad?
Because it is the only one city which is faced with the urbanization well, because others are not faced with the urbanization because the whole people come to one city. It is a small city. We can't let these old people to live in a small city. And also other reason is there is a concept in our country that is shift to mouth. Then that is the concept in our country. So at that time there are some people who don't contain any job. Then at that time they can't connect with the business. Then business mean a better thing to urbanize place like Colombo. Then if they don't satisfied, they go abroad. That is the reason for those all the things. Then that's why we can't carry our Colombo to a full urbanized place, and that's why foreign countries are improved with technology in this moment.
And you can see the rural people need to carry their cultivation from their places to urban areas. Why they carry? Do you know about the reason?
But I think urban areas have so many urban areas increase the population, and we haven't.
I think this is the reason because there is no mountain. I think it's not the correct reason because the rural area there is no any market to sell this their cultivation in rural area because in urban areas there is lot of market to sell their cultivation.
Farmers grow in the rural areas and they give their cultivation and their harvest to the supermarket, to the supermarket. Then they can earn money from it.
But however, they want to sell those things in full urbanized place. Then that's the advantage of this urbanized place.
But
That's not
if you think they have lot of place to do a cultivation in urban cities.
Sorry.
We have lots of place to do a cultivation in urban cities.
Yes, they are not. I think it is not in Sri Lanka, but in foreign countries there is lot of places to do.
And you are doing
Not only that, but also just think, if you talk about the cultivation, just think about the rural areas. They always using the chemicals. At that time, the time which we have to live in the future will be lost. There is no time to live because we have already lost the time which we have to live because of the chemicals and the diseases which are given by the rural
Now,
people.
Urban areas people destroy these cultivated places for urbanization. What do you think about it?
He also got there are many fashion model, fashion new foods are there. We can get from the urbanized areas because of the rural people. At that time, we
Without
can.
urban areas, without rural areas, urban areas, people can't finish their needs.
Why we can grow those we can continue those cultivations in full urbanized places.
How can you improve it?
I told you.
Are you in the urban area?
But we can grow natural things in that.
Then you don't collaborate with the full urban city. Then
Not full urban city.
another way
But isn't there forest the most urbanized city in the Sri Lanka? And also there are good agricultural systems in urbanization place, full urbanized place.
Then can you name a place which is growing foods in Colombo?
But if we,
I told you I don't like Maria family pity. These are the places in the Colombo.
And
Do they
when you
grow?
Yes. And as I understood, the person who is Tamil told about the organic fertilizers which are in the rural areas, but in urban areas, not urban areas, in rural areas, but unfortunately it must be a fallacy in the fact which we have told at that time it is a fiction and it must be a for all people who are living in the country. At that time it is a feeble fact which you have given to the people.
And I think the people in your team are so selfish because you are only thinking about humans, but there are so many animals living in this world too. They are part of this world too. So we have to give them a chance to live, but because of this urbanization, so the deforestation happened, and because of that, so many animals lost their living places, and some animals went to extinct, and that harmed our biodiversity.
It's happened
And
because of the rural people, because the rural
harmed
people
the
always
balance
agree with the cultivation and they are destroying the forest as their own. And that's why there are
Colonization. And it harmed because of the harming of biodiversity. It harmed the world's balance.
And they lost the
Balance of the nature and human.
But we can.
Because of urbanization, we are facing huge biodiversity loss. Because of the urbanization, people had to cut down the forests which caused deforestation, and because of that, so many animals lost their homes, and some even went to extinct because they lost their lives. And we only have few animals which are unique to Sri Lanka, and
As I know,
we
they
should
are
protect
good
them. And with urbanization, we can't do that. If urbanization is becoming more and more developed, then we won't be able to save those animals from this crisis.
In urbanized area, there's a small place to live, but in village area, there's a big place to live. Then at that time, in village area, we have to cut off trees because we want to get use a big area instead of a small area which is used in urbanized area. So the biggest environment pollution can get as this village side. So that the farmers in our countries are telling to our government about the elephants and pigs, and at that time we can understand they always try to destroy them because at that time these are the people who are trying to destroy the plants and trees to their for their cultivation. At that time also the animal lost their natural houses.
They
Yes,
they are cutting down trees, but they are always planting more
but
trees.
there is no surroundings to plant it. But we are house the place they have to throw them is lost. At that time, they want to place their cultivations and their houses.
New plant.
Then they ask how do we find surroundings? Can we grow them and they give you a surrounding for that and those? It means to replace their houses and their cultivations. Then they ask
People still having.
sorry
People still have.
for what? For cultivation. Yes.
Farmers have enough discipline to not to cut huge
In our
trees
country,
which
always there is only one city which is specific the urbanization, and at that time the presidents and the ministers always try to improve India the urbanization. At that time there is not speed in it as the all over the world. At that time, not only that there are many agendas which is used with this government, and this it is always. It is always protected. This is forest. At that time we can't cut off these trees.
And these urban cities, when we build the urban city, sometimes politicians cut off these trees.
We have to build our organized cities well before make a urban city.
In Colombo, when we make highway, they cut off so many plants to build highway.
They cut as to the agendas. They didn't go out of the agendas. But they plant lot of trees instead of
as a management, it still harms the environment. But when farmers are cutting trees, they do not destroy animals' houses, so they do not destroy the living beings. They are only using them for a good sake, and that's why the nature mother is also supporting them. And since urbanization is very bad and people are cutting off trees just without a reason, that's why so many disasters happen to us also.
I think we don't need to cut off these trees without reasons because they already have reasons. Without reason, there is no chance to cut it.
Yes, we get known about for the news. Singaraju forest also cut off from the.
That was an introduced as
Then
yes.
It is an urbanization. It is the result of urbanization. People want to
That's
more.
it is a result of the people who haven't the real money to face to the future. Then they are cutting these trees who are living in the rural area because there is no chance to
People
live.
living in urban areas.
Yes,
People who are living in
but
urban
they-
areas
but the rural area are living. The people who are in the area are not full educated. They have the one side they connect with those. So I think that is the reason for those all things. In rural areas, there are uneducated people. Then
but those uneducated people has discipline to not to cut trees which harmful.
But they cut, yes, they cut trees.
But in the urbanized areas, the people who you call educated, they don't have that humanity.
As I think there is no time to do that because they already have the comfortable life to do.
They are ruining the lives of wild animals because
That's the
of
dream which is consistent with you.
And also there's a farming system which called China. So at that time they cut off. They choose a certain area and they cut off all the trees and they destroy the places
They
that
do
animals
not
live.
destroy those places.
Why they burn those things?
Before burning, they choose an area to build a chain, and before burning the chain, they always shout out to animals to leave that area.
But they can't hear.
And they tell that the animals to leave because he is going to light up
If they
and
can't
fire
hear.
there.
Then what about animals houses?
And
Then they destroy those things.
But
Then again
the
they
people who
have
live in urbanized area, the destruction that they do to forests are higher than the.
They didn't do any destruction for the forest. The people who are in the rural areas did it because they haven't money to conserve their life. If they have the money to conserve their life, they don't even do that. Then they are forced to do the migration. Then they are again with it.
Then I want to ask you that how did the people in urbanized areas build those areas?
There are many people who are educated people and they always attend with the government and the government give the politicians to do the real work. At that time they also can improve our city as an urbanized area. At that time we also can attend with things without the force we are given the people who like you.
The most cases related to deforestation is caused by politicians, and they are the ones who are ruining.
Then I told you if I want to make our country well, we need to choose a great politicians to our future.
But since the people who you call educated have chosen.
There are many politicians who are not educated.
The people who you call educated who are living in urbanized cities, they have chosen the people who are not. They have chosen the people who are not suitable for the political.
Yes, we could understand it from the Mr. Gotabaya Rajapaksa because as an educated person we try to do that by using the organic fertilizers, but unfortunately the people who like you always challenge with the inorganic fertilizers and they try to stop it. Because of that there are many diseases which are in these places which are in rural areas and urbanized areas, but you always giving the bad side into the urbanized areas. Just see about the bad side which is in the rural areas. Without these rural areas there is not a bad side in this urbanized area. Because of the rural areas there is a big bad worst side in the urban areas.
Then you can't don't find out about the bad things about the urbanization. We want to know.
The whole things consisted with the bad side and the good side, and it has always benefits and bad sides. Then we can use it the benefits. If it have many benefits more than bad sides, we can attend with it and we can improve the bad sides as well as we can.
And also, before you teach them about green concept in urban areas. Actually, if we found about and also if we found about developed countries, they never use this green concept, but there are only some of which businessmen use this green concept for their industrial works and other works. So then I think your idea is strong. What do you think about it?
and also there are not only green concept agriculture, not only that there are buildings which produce using this green concept. Then we can continue agriculture using those green concept because as an example in foreign countries like Japan, China, UK, there are a lot of factories that made up of this green concept It means they emit low amount of greenhouse gases to atmosphere. Then that's a good situation, and that's a type of technology that we want to get used in full urbanized area. And that is my answer for your question.
And I think before in your speech, how they are told that you don't want to imitate other countries, but as you are talking, you are telling that we should
Get them as donations.
That is
Why can't you get them as donations?
What are your donations? You are talking about.
If someone has the knowledge, they don't think them as imitations. The people who haven't knowledge always should think them as imitations. At that time, they can't see them as the donations.
You are talking the same thing, imitation and
You are talking the same thing. You get this from me.
then you don't imitate other countries and we
Get
want
them as donations.
then we want to produce our things.
Yes.
Then
We can.
then we should not get them as donations if we want to produce our own thing.
But is there idea of their full urbanized city in our country? They are full urbanized city. The Colombo is urbanized city. In foreign countries, they are full urbanized
those
cities.
kinds of urbanized cities in our country. We don't want that.
That's why we get an example from foreign country. There is no full urbanized city in our country.
There are so many harm effects which urbanized cities has already done to this country, and we don't want them anymore.
If they are in the urbanized city in our country, there must be no one in our country, because there are many cancers and there are many diseases in these rural areas because of the chemicals which are used with this fertilizer.
Do you tell that there are no diseases in urbanized cities?
There are, but they can't control it because of biggest medical sites are in front of them.
Then there are so many medical facilities in rural areas.
They also have these diseases as a result of these rural areas people. Because of the using fresh and new foods, as you told, because they have to use the foods which have grown by you.
I don't agree with you
Because she told me.
no, rural area people haven't any cancer, but I think urban areas people have so many cancers because of their foods. Those are very harmful to their body, and there are so many. I think there are so many kidney diseases in Coronado and like that area because they haven't good water in that area.
That's why I want to tell there are in that area, that is a rural area, so there's no good water. That's why I want to tell we want to use full urbanized area. At that time we can use pure water, and in rural area there are so many hospitals for cancer and dengue patients. You told now there's no patients like that. If there's no patient, there's no me building those hospitals. It means you are telling lies. We can come to a decision. So it means this full urbanized area is not fulfilled with this cancer and dengue patients.
But I think these patients are very patients increase that urban cities and we can get percentage 20% only in rural areas and 80% in urban areas.
As you told, the cultivation is in the rural areas, but unfortunately the rural people always using the fertilizers which like inorganic. At that time they always have the chemicals, and these are the places which have the ugly water and the dirty water. because of the things which are consisted with this water.
But
I think rural area people use many chemicals for their cultivation and it is very big big problem and I think it is very dangerous for our cultivation.
Actually, this rural areas farmers use cultivation for all of the people in the world. Then they supply these every cultivated food to these urban areas. Then we can't agree with you.
And then the people who live in urban areas, they also eat those food. They also they eat inserted chemical food.
Yes. Actually, if you talk about urban areas, people they always used to use lot of artificial food for their comfortable. Actually, this is not a good thing because people had faced a lot of diseases by using this artificial food.
Like
What do you think
I
about it?
heard,
Don't be against with the artificial food, just
like noodles.
is it a better option than you have? Because just think about the cultivation you have.
When we
Is
get,
it the better one?
when we get noodles, there is so many cancer.
The cultivation you have is better than the artificial foods.
But now your team also told rural area farmers also use chemicals to.
Then they have the most diseases.
They did.
But as you know, they haven't many diseases.
Urban area people use artificial foods to their foods. Then they also have cancers.
I think urban area people's village people use many chemicals for their cultivations. Example Anuradhapura Puranur, those people's and then those people have many cancer and they face many diseases.
Actually, when they use this inorganic fertilizers to this, if they use this inorganic fertilizer to their cultivation, after they take their harvest, they 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 uh, they they sell this
Like that, the urban people can use the natural foods as a rural area people using inorganic fertilizers. So like that, urbanization help for more any lot of industries, but in rural areas there is no any industrial facilities. So therefore they should we should spend this urbanization for the rural areas and
actually, your team members told that in rural areas we can live freely, but I don't think so. in full urbanized area we can get freedom. Actually, there are artificial things. There are parks and we can visit. There are so many places, historical places, and there are so many artificial things. We can get fun than rather than the places which are in rural areas. Then I want to ask your opinion about it.
Actually, in
But among these people, we can hear so many noises in these areas, and we haven't any freedom in these areas.
There are many urbanized cities all around the world, and these all companies give these employees to time to enjoy their life. At that time, these are the urbanized cities in the world, but unfortunately, there is no urbanized city in our country, and they are faced with the urbanization. Then
You
it is
you told that
the most urbanized city in our country is Colombo, but it is not totally urbanized.
then you told it earlier. You don't want tell it again.
I told it again because I want to tell her about the time which is given by the companies in around the country. At that time, the time which is given by the factories around our country, these people can use it and they can enjoy the time and they can stop and they can destroy the pressure they have.
some researchers have proved that the people who live in urban areas, the stress of their head is higher than the people who live in rural areas because of the pollution and the stress that they get from so many loud noises like that, and their work life is stressed also, and they can't even go out freely because of the air pollution. The air is just like mist all over the city, and they can't even go to the back. They can't even enjoy a natural view. And green is the most charming color for our eyes, but they can't even see a huge tree, and they can't even see a huge shadow of a tree in a city, and it is the most harming fact for the people's mental health.
That is
And
the
it
picture which is viewing in your head. There are many countries and there are many
also in
cities.
those working areas, there's a time that we want to be free, and also there's a working time. So we want to work in that time. After that working time, we can spend free.
The person who didn't even see a urban area well, just think there are many urban areas all around the country, and government always try to spread the plants all around the cities and the urban areas. At that time, these people can see these places. Not only that, it's because of the development of a city is always consistent with the person who are working in the city. At that time, he always need to make their country proud, and they need to make their country how to face to the future. But unfortunately, rural people can't do anything as they told. But they always trying to do the cultivation. But they do cultivation also by using the inorganic fertilizer. At that time, there are many diseases which they can't even they can't even face. But as Vidumar is told, there is a higher percentage about the diseases in the urbanized area, which in Colombo. Just think these people who are in rural areas can't solve these problems because they have no medical sectors in their places. Then they always come to these places which are consistent and which are developed well. Then they can solve these all diseases and the cancers from the Colombo. That's the problem. Then it has the highest population. We can't change our country to an urbanized place as the other countries do.
Then why foreign countries people come to our country?
To visit the beautiful places in our country.
Then you told not full urban city, but our country has so many rural areas. Then there is so many people use so many natural areas to their spend their time.
We can't go out of the policies because policy is the main part which we need to follow. If the policy said we can't cut off any trees and it is a irregular work, at that time the police and the army can get their works, get their parts, and at that time they can stop the whole source of the cutting trees. At that time there is not a problem between these urbanized areas.
And also there is a problem of that tourist guide. That tourist guide carry him there here and there, but there's no means he want to carry him to a full urbanized city like Colombo.
And also, if we think about antisocial activities, there are a lot of antisocial activities happen in the urban areas.
But there is a lot of antisocial activities in rural areas, but there is no any big communication. Therefore,
Don't ask about the Puma.
yes.
There are so many robberies happening in urbanized areas rather than rural areas, and because of that, there are so many police and armies in urbanized areas than rural areas, and that is the reason for that.
As I know, always the replace is the urbanized area. At that time, the money always is in that. Then the rural people must come to there and they can, if they haven't a job, they can use it and they can do robberies. At that time, they can get money. Then the antisocial activities and the robberies always happen with the urbanized areas. Because of that, they can't stop it.
Now it's time to wind up our debate, and before doing that, Now it's time to wind up our debate, and before doing that, I want to tell something to everyone. We all are still students, and we are studying in the people who the students who are talking here are not the same age. I am studying in grade 11. Tharul is in grade 8. Yasindu is grade 11, Ruvindu is grade 9, and Viduli is also grade 9. Pabasara is grade 11. Tinukaya and Kavodaya are in grade 12, and Nadu is in grade 10. So, as for their age, they have a huge knowledge than the same age students, and Kavodaya and Tinukaya has written the O-level exam. So we all have learned English and practiced it well. And I want to thank our teacher for that, because she sacrificed her time for us to teach us well, and she sacrificed her time to make us practice more, and that's why we are in this place. And all the members in both teams did well today, and they spoke well. Then when we started first, so many students could not speak well as now, but since then they have improved so much, and now they are able to talk well and talk more about the topics clearly, and so the members did a good job and they practiced well, and our teacher also did so many things for us. She taught us well, sacrificing her time for us, and I want to thank her also. Over to Nadir.
Actually, my dear teacher and my dear debaters, I think we did a good job, and I want to tell this is very timely topic to all of us, and I want to give a special thank you to our teacher, because she carried us to this situation very hardly, and also my dear debaters, they also practice well to come to this situation, and we learn a lot of things through this. And also at last I want to thank for all of you and watching this video. Thank you all of you.